I already know that some people prefer Wreck-It Ralph 2 more than the first film, but this is my own opinion. We can sit back, we all agree that Wreck-It Ralph 1, the one who started it all for this wonderful franchise, is way better to the comparison to Wreck-It Ralph 2, which is a movie that we honestly don't need because this is a type of movie it deserved to be just one movie. Because I'm just literally thinking that Wreck-It Ralph 2 was made, it has to be because of the fact that Sony made that terrible film, which is none than the Emoji Movie, more like a rip-off movie because that film was a rip-off. Anyway, guys, so enough further ado, let's get this versus video called Wreck-It Ralph vs. Ralph Break the Internet, which is a very stupid title, and I rather call it a Wreck-It Ralph 2 Ralph Wrecked the Internet. Now that is much better. I don't understand why Disney think that title is a good idea. Sorry, Disney, but that is a god-awful title, and I'm still keeping that title because that's impossible. I have to change the title. But honestly, we just call it Ralph Break the Internet, which is a very stupid title, but hey, fathers count. Am I right, folks?
We are all connected in the great circle of life.
Hello, fellas. What the sitch? My name is Nick Hicks, Kim Possible Fan 2001 here, and tonight, welcome to my very first ever My Versus video on my YouTube channel. But this time, yeah, doing to Harry Thomas Picture and freaking Minion Studio or Frozen Witch Studio, whatever call that knucklehead. Honestly, doing to those two YouTubers did this type of video before, but this is my turn. So doing to Harry Thomas did the same thing to The Lion King. Doing to freaking Minion Studio did the same thing to Disney and Rumination. It can show that he's overplaying Disney like a better than God and treating Rumination like it's worse than Video Van Cradle. But this time, I am doing my own thing. Just like my mother said, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. Anyway, guys, so that's why I decided to make this first video. I'm gonna be compared to Wreck-It Ralph to Ralph Wreck the Internet. I refuse to call it Ralph Break the Internet because that does not sound right. Anyway, guys, so enough further ado. Let's talk about the reason why I prefer the first film better than the sequel. Let's get to it. On to the wicked time. Anyway, so let's compare it to the story. Let's be honest here, the story is a fantastic and well-written story, and it can show that you actually feel so bad to Wreck-It Ralph and Penelope. And honestly, guys, I really wish I can have explained it, but this is going to be honestly, doing two is going to be a short video, so let's not do that. So, this is going to be a lazy video because I got to get downstairs, so that's why this video is going to be pretty short, so hope you understand that, folks. Anyway, guys, so that's why we think the Wreck-It Ralph story is way better than the story that we got in the sequel. Because the Wreck-It Ralph 2 story, it can show that Wreck-It Ralph 2 is a huge retcon to what happened in the first film. What happened to Wreck-It Ralph character development, when you ask? Well, Rick Moore have a genius idea by making Wreck-It Ralph as a selfish pedophile and a crybaby. Nobody wants to see that. Like, come on, man. Wreck-It Ralph is a strong character in the first film because he was really strong. Really strong. No offense. Anyway, so that's why Wreck-It Ralph just turned into a very likable and understandable characters, but into a selfish, understandable, and of course, pedophile. Because he was trying to fun with his Penelope, and I could have said, mark my word, that fan art of Penelope and Ralph, that's disgusting. Anyway, so that's why Wreck-It Ralph 1 is, Wreck-It Ralph 1 story is way better than the Wreck-It Ralph story. I'm sorry. So that's why Wreck-It Ralph 1 story is way better than the Wreck-It Ralph 2 story that we got back in 6 years ago. Next up, let's talk about the characters. I already know that Wreck-It Ralph 1 character had Wreck-It Ralph himself, Penelope herself, Soldier Calhoun, and Fix-It-Felix Jr. And of course, you got your game character, which is another Naru, and of course, Sonic, and one of the Rhino Purple guy, and of course, you got Keyboard, and Igor. But honestly, Keyboard was not in the sequel, which I was really upset. But honestly, I was really disappointed. Not upset, I was disappointed as heck. Anyway, guys, I'm sorry, and of course, Wreck-It Ralph 2 has some character like, I was like, sorry, and yeah, sure, you got Wreck-It Ralph, Calhoun, and Felix, but you have some new characters, like, like the Disney princesses. Like, I am so happy that Disney finally realized that Disney princesses crossover is a much better idea than making Disney princesses as a pregnant. Oh my god, man. That is a bad idea. Stop it. And thank goodness they completely retcon that. I am not going to put that on my story file, or else I will be huge demonetized in age description. Anyway, guys, and of course, Wreck-It Ralph 2 has some new characters, not just the Disney princesses. We have Yes, or Ya, and of course, you got Shank. I can imagine that Disney watched Fast and the Furious, so that's why they decided to make the Disney version of Gal Gadot character from Fast and the Furious. Honestly, I don't even know her name is Gidge, but I'm gonna call her Shank, honestly. So Shank is my favorite character in the Wreck-It Ralph movie, and she is such a beauty, and I love her to death. Anyway, guys, so that's why Wreck-It Ralph and Wreck-It Ralph 2, those two deserve to win here because they both have some great characters, but not full character development. So let's talk about the character development. Next up, character development. Let's talk about Wreck-It Ralph himself. So, honestly, guys, here's a one review that people did a Wreck-It Ralph 2 rant. So, honestly, guys, he was comparing to Ralph to patient, hero, friendly, and understanding. Honestly, that's true because Wreck-It Ralph back then, he was really patient, very hero-y, and very friendly, and of course, understanding. But look at him in the sequel, which I have a picture right here, but I ain't gonna show it, or else it's gonna be old. All else is going to be a long video. So doing two, it's gonna be a short video because I gotta get downstairs before my brother Chris comes home. But look at Wreck-It Ralph character in the sequel. He's stupid. He's unbelievable. He's poor. He's selfish. He's lacking motion. He's whiny, and of course, low self-control. Seriously, and of course, he's a pedophile because he is so upsetting with Penelope. I already know you like Penelope in the first film, but in the sequel, it can show that he's a straight up pedophile. But honestly, saying Troy Band Together Fan has once said that Wreck-It Ralph 2 pedophile is a white thing. No, it's not, you knucklehead. Wreck-It Ralph himself, he was not a pedophile in the first film. I don't understand why he's a pedophile in the sequel. Anyway, guys, so saying Wreck-It Ralph pedophile is a white thing for this film. Oh, heck no, Troy Band Together Fan you better shut your mouth. Anyway, so let's talk about Penelope herself. I do like Penelope in the first film better than her character in the sequel, because she decided that she's going to ditch all the Sugar Rush Razor, which, honestly, guys, I don't blame on Penelope, because in the first film, the Sugar Rush Razor was bully Penelope by breaking her card. But honestly, guys, that's not the one time, but Wreck-It Ralph did the second time, but this time, it was a very emotional scene, but I will get that in a minute. But honestly, guys, so Penelope herself, I do like her character development in the first film better than the sequel, because I can't believe why she's ditching all the Sugar Rush Razor, and I don't understand why she want to stay at the Spartaways forever with Shank. So that's why Wreck-It Ralph decided to put a freaking virus in the spoilerways. And I'll talk about that one character I actually do not like in a minute right now. Anyway, guys, so that's why character development, it deserved to win, which is not in the first film. So the first film is a huge win, but the sequel, you're a loser. Anyway, guys, so what's next we have to talk about? Let's talk about Get Hood and Feel It. Get Hood and Feel It got a much better, got a way more screen time in the first film when you compare it to the screen time in the sequel. They were actually in the sequel, but the only scene that they are in, what's another in the opening and the ending. You got to be kidding me right now. This is not Alvin and the Chipmunk, the road chip, you idiot. Anyway, guys, so the main reason why I was saying the road chip is had to be because of the fact that, this is exactly the same screen time that Chip Peck has back in 9 years ago with the road chip, and next year it's going to be 10 years. There's absolutely no way I am going to celebrate that, but just because I'm going to do a post about it, that doesn't mean I'm going to do a huge celebration. That movie can go cut themselves, and the Force Awakens is way better than road chip. How about that? Anyway, guys, so Get Hood and Feel It, it's a huge win for the first film, but the screen time in the sequel was really unacceptable and really disrespectful at the same time. So yeah, let's talk about the animation. I already know that like about one animation. Honestly, guys, let's talk about the animation. I already know that the first film was made in 2012 and the sequel was made in 2018, the same year as Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, more like Into the Spider-Peak, because that film is peak. Not pink, not peak. Not pink, it's peak. So yeah, it's peak, not pink. I was just saying. Anyway, guys, so I understand that Wreck-It Ralph 1 was made in 2012 and Wreck-It Ralph was made in 2018, which I already said that. But, however, when you watch Wreck-It Ralph 1 in 2024, the animation it still holds up. But the animation in the sequel, even is not as good as the first film, but the animation looks really pretty good, honestly. Honestly, this animation is not original because we always, we already see this animation like a million times. So yeah, honestly, guy, you have to get a huge thank you for Disney by giving some animation detail of the internet, and they put some major effort for that, and they did a wonderful job. So let's give a long applause, everyone. But however, Wreck-It Ralph 1 animation is a huge win, but Wreck-It Ralph 2 animation is good, but it's not as good as the first film. I was just saying. And of course, let's talk about the song. The soundtrack of Wreck-It Ralph 1 is really unforgettable. Right, honestly, that has a bunch of songs more than the sequel. So let's talk about the song of the first film, and let's talk about the one song I honestly do not like. Anyway, so let's talk about the song from the first film. They have When Can I See You Again, which honestly, guys, that song is my favorite Wreck-It Ralph song. It's my second favorite Wreck-It Ralph song, but not as good as the one song called Wreck-It Ralph. Now that is a perfect song for your perfect theme song for your perfect Wreck-It Ralph. I'm very sorry I say perfect 3 times, so not stupid. Anyway, guys, so that is a perfect theme song. That is a perfect song that you can play in Wreck-It Ralph shows, which Disney Channel, please greenlight Wreck-It Ralph show. I will be there right away. Anyway, guys, so I'm sorry. And of course, you got the Cybugs remix. What typically is called Hero Duty. So it's called Hero Duty. So we got Hero Duty's remix, which that remake is so awesome. It goes like this. Oh my god. I am so terrible at making noise. And of course, you got the Sugar Rush song. Go, Sugar Rush. Man, that song is my jam. But not as jamming as a Wreck-It Ralph, honestly. And the score is very amazing, especially for the theme song called do 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 do. Man, that theme song, I would definitely play that. After I get done with this video, we have to hurry up. When you compare it to the great song in Wreck-It Ralph 1 into Wreck-It Ralph 2 soundtrack, that Spider-Way song, I now do not like that song. That song is just as bad and as dreadful as a song called Love in the Open Doors in Frozen 1. I like Frozen 1, but that is the only song for Frozen movie I honestly do not like. But that song is now officially is in my top 10 worst song I ever heard in my life. That song give me a break. Anyway, guys, so that's Broadway song. Now I can see why Wreck-It Ralph is not a movie to do a musical number, but my version is gonna be way better than that. So that's why I decided to ditch that Broadway song into a director's cut and make it to my own with Ralph and Shanker singing. So yeah, and honestly, in my director's cut of Wreck-It Ralph 2, we have a plenty song. It will be as good as the first film. But I'm very sorry, Wreck-It Ralph 2. But Wreck-It Ralph 1, at least the end credit song is kind of catchy. Guys, I like Magic Dragon, and I do like the song called Zero, but it's not as good as When Can I See You Again, which that song give a huge message that that we can see you again, like about when can I see you again? Oh, 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 can I see you again? Honestly, guys, so that song it's gonna be way better than Zero, honestly. No offense to Magic Dragon, but that Zero song is good, but not as masterpiece as When Can I See You Again by Owl City. I like Owl City. That's like fantastic artist. Am I right, folks? Yeah, folks. And of course, let's compare it to the review, especially on Rotten Tomatoes. Oh boy, it's gonna be a lot of wagering. Am I right? Oh boy. Honestly, let's talk about the review of the first film. Wreck-It Ralph 1, which is the movie that came out 12 years ago. It came out in 2012 on November 2nd. And this film is 1 hour and 41 minutes. This kid is a family movie. And of course, this film got a 87% on Rotten Tomatoes for the critic. And last not least, this film got a 86% for the audience. I gotta say, but when you compare it to the Rotten Tomato rating of Wreck-It Ralph 1 into a sequel, you cannot believe what Wreck-It Ralph 2 got on Rotten Tomato when the film came out. Wreck-It Ralph 2 got a 88% on Rotten Tomato for the critic, and this film got and of course this film got a 64% for the audience, and this film got released on November 21st, and this film came out maybe like 6 or 7 years ago. I'm pretty darn sure Wreck-It Ralph 1 came out 6 years ago, honestly. And here in the future, it's going to be 10 years. Oh my god. Anyway, guys, and this film is 1 hour and 52 minutes. Whoa, wait a minute. Wreck-It Ralph 1 has some shorter runtime. This film is 1 hour and 41 minutes. But Wreck-It Ralph 1 is 1 hour and 42 minutes? Oh, heck no. Wreck-It Ralph 1 deserves that kind of runtime, not Wreck-It Ralph 2. Nobody wants to see a 1 hour and 42 minute of nonsense. It's boring, pathetic. Anyway, guys, so even I agree with the audience for the 64%, but the same as the runtime, I don't understand why I don't understand why Rotten Tomatoes think that Wreck-It Ralph 2 is way better than the first film. You cannot be intense that you think Wreck-It Ralph 2, which is the one film they completely destroyed, Wreck-It Ralph killed the development, and the Wreck-It Ralph 2 is a huge retcon to the first film. When they rated this film to the 88% and compare it to the 87% for the first film, this is just as bad as you compare it to Moana. So Moana review to the first film and the sequel. The first film got a fantastic praising review, but the sequel got a okay rating. It can show that you cannot trust these critics, and these critics are such a knucklehead sometimes. They got hypnotized by the Wikimedia. Wikimedia can go crack themselves. Crap themselves. I meant to say, not crap. Anyway, guys, and of course, you got the villain. You got King Candy, which is a fantastic villain. And look at the villain that we got in the sequel. That's right, we got the... Honestly, guys, let's talk about the villain, shall we? So, let's talk about King Candy, which is a fantastic written villain. And he's way better than Duke from Frozen. Why? It's because he's voiced by the same actor. But let's look at the villain that we got in the sequel. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We got a villain, which is a virus named Arthur. Yawn. Yeah, that is the worst villain I ever seen for a Disney World Bible age. It's pathetic and stupid. Anyway, guys, so you know what? Nobody wants to see a Wreck-It Ralph movie have a pathetic villain named Arthur the Virus. That name is that name is a ripoff to Arthur for PBS Kids. I gotta be honest, hell, you know what? Let's not compare to that. That's stupid. That's a stupid comparison. But honestly, guys, King Candy, I mean, it's a huge win. But the virus named Arthur, seriously, Disney. Now that is how you do a villain? Oh, heck nah. Anyway, guys, so the last not least, let's talk about Ralph and Penelope character development. Let's talk about them in the first movie. I already know I already know that Wreck-It break Penelope's caught in the first film, but honestly, guys, but at least they were showing the emotional moment when they did that. But when Penelope did the same thing, but this time she was taking Ralph heart Dane and throw it, and Ralph say no. What the heck? What the heck is this? It's like a Lion King reference. Okay, that was not funny. That was really insult. I'm very sorry. Honestly, we're gonna cut that out. Anyway, guys, so I gotta say, but Wake Up the emotion is way better than than a lackluster emotional when you have Ralph and Penelope was talking back to each other's because Ralph said that you wanna ditch the Sugar Rush Racer by staying with Shank, which is Penelope's idea and not so dream. That is a pathetic dream right there. You can see Shank whatever you want. That doesn't mean you have to ditch Penelope. That doesn't mean you have to ditch Ralph and the Racers just because you love Shank all darn much, honestly. Nah, scratch that. We're gonna talk about let's talk about the one thing that it can show that people change their opinion, and now people will definitely agree that the climax of the first film is way more darker than the pathetic climax that we got in the sequel. Let's talk about the climax of the first movie. The climax of the first movie was a very entertaining, and that's the best part of the movie. Let's talk about the climax of the sequel. Yawn. That is boring and lame. Oh my god. How dare you? How dare you? Disney, how dare you? That you follow the climax of the first film, and now that you follow the climax to the first film, and now you go to the climax to the first film into a sequel. The climax is all about Ralph and Penelope, and yes, have to run away because of 100 Ralph is breaking the internet. Because the virus named Arthur. That is the worst climax I have ever seen for a freaking Disney movie, and I do not want to see that type of climax ever again. So overall, guys, that was my video. Why I think Wreck-It 1 is way better than Wreck-It 2. I gotta say, but Wreck-It 1 is a huge win. But Wreck-It 2, get yourself together, and please, and honestly, if you do Wreck-It 3 Disney, please change everything what you done in the sequel. Nobody wants to see a confusing plot. Like, seriously, if you have a plot about Sugar Rush Unplugged, stick with that plot. Nobody wants to see a plot about Penelope having a dream and Ralph was being selfish and being not understandable. By going to the dark net and grab the virus. Right? Nobody wants to see that. Stick to one plot. This is not a Secret Life of Pet 2, you know. And honestly, guys, and nobody wants to see Wreck-It Ralph as a pedophile characters, and Troy Band Together fans said that making Ralph as a pedophile character, now that is a right character development. Oh, heck no, you knucklehead. Wreck-It Ralph is not a pedophile character. Wreck-It Ralph supposed to be a hero character, not him falling in love with Penelope. That is disgusting. If I see a fan art of Ralph Penelope one more time, I am going to march to the art studio and get rid of the fan art and put him in the fire. Anyway, guys, so that's enough. Wreck-It 1 is way better than Wreck-It 2. Man, even I was being too hard on Wreck-It 2. But let's be honest here, Wreck-It 2 have the same rating as the Dr. Sister Grinch. I just said Wreck-It 2 is a great movie, but not as good and not as masterpiece. Not as masterpiece as Wreck-It 1. And now I give Wreck-It 2 to the 9 out of 10 into an 8 out of 10. So that's mean this film. That's mean the sequel is not a serum Nick Cake awesomeness. And I'm very sorry, Lazy Gaming. I'm very sorry to people who's a huge defending, but I have to agree with the people. But yeah, people, I won't blame you that you changed your opinion on Wreck It Ralph 2. But Frozen 2 and Wish, that's a different story. Because I will not accept some terrible user opinion on Frozen 2 and Wish. But Wreck It Ralph 2, I would totally understand why that you change your opinion on Wreck It Ralph 2 and why you think that film is bad. But Frozen 2 and Wish, that's a different story. And of course, Encanto, that's a different story too. And Raya, different story at the same time. So yeah, and Moana 2, maybe. So honestly, guys, that was my video called Wreck It Ralph versus Wreck It Ralph 2. And Wreck It Ralph 1 is a huge ram, but Wreck It Ralph 2, get your crap together and stop it. Honestly, guys, I do admit, honestly, guys, the only thing I like from that climax, which is other than the Disney princesses, say Ralph. But 100 Ralph versus Wreck It Ralph, a boss fight, that is pathetic. Wreck It Ralph versus King Candy, now that is a way better boss fight more than him versus himself to the 100 clone. It's bad enough we got that, and now are you telling me back in 2026 we are going to get the same plot from Wreck It Ralph 2 Climax, and now we're going to get the same thing with Toy Story 5 when you have a 100 Buzz Lightyears taking over? Yeah, we're gonna end this video right now. Anyway, guys, so if you enjoyed this Wreck It Ralph video, if you want to see more of this John C. Reilly video like usual, please, I highly recommend you hit the subscribe button, turn notification, and share it with your whole family. And honestly, guys, I'm not gonna edit this video right now because it's 5:27, so I need to get downstairs before my mother call me. So let's end this video right now before my mother call me, because you already know how she is. Anyway, guys, so subscribe, comment, share it with your family. And my name is honestly, guys, and this is Nick Hicks, Kim Possible Fan 2001 signing off. And at the end of the day, Wreck It Ralph 1 has some way better story, well written character development, and way better animation, and way better soundtrack, and everything is way better than Wreck It Ralph 2. And don't you worry, ladies and gentlemen, on January 2025, Wreck It Ralph 2, the director's cut, is going to put the original cut in the shame.
Like a bolt out of the blue.
Fate steps in and sees you through. When you wish upon a star,